Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I thought I'll talk about a little bit about how having someone with muscular dystrophy affects a family. I made a video talking about how it affects a family tree, but what I meant with family tree, I mean like, how you go from one generation to another, how it can affect, each generation. I was more focused on the genetic side of things, and DNA stuff. But here for this video, I'm focused more on the family, structure and stuff, more than the genetic and affecting each generation, having a risk of having someone with muscular dystrophy. But this is more of a focus on the family structure, how having maybe having someone who has muscular dystrophy in your family, like your son and stuff, how it affects like a whole family, mom, dad, parents, siblings, and stuff like that. I found another article, and it's from a podcast. Uh, I clicked the link where it takes you, and the podcast name is Family, Friends, and Duchesne. When I click the link, it takes me to Spotify. So if you guys have Spotify and would like to see, that podcast and stuff, Uh, just go on Spotify and type, family and friends into chain, and it should come up. Honestly, I have not seen any of the podcasts. I'm just reading off the article and stuff, but I'll get started. The first part of the article is called Do Chains Impact on Families? And I joke all the time with people I work with that will never give up on my kids and family with Duchenne and Becker. Although these kids are incredibly challenging, I never met a parent population in my life that is so committed to the hand to the things you ask them to do. So although these kids are challenging, they have parents who tend to be committed and follow through with things that are asked of them, regardless if that adds another hour until their already 6 hour time frame of care that day. But that's going to impact that family unit exactly. When you have a son, daughter, or kids that don't have you know, muscular dystrophy or any disability, it's easier. I'm not saying it's easy to be a parent. I don't think it's an easy task, but it's a little bit different because you don't, parents don't have to worry about, oh, I need to help him, use the restroom. Oh, I had to, you know, you know how at a certain age kids start, you serve their plate, and they will, put their plate in the microwave by themselves, you know, when they start using the restroom, they use the restroom by themselves. If they need to take a shower, they'll take a shower whenever they feel like they need or want to do it, and stuff like that. But when you have someone with muscular dystrophy or any disability that you have to, help, be their caregiver 24/7, it can affect a family, the unit, like it says, because all those reasons. And the next part of the article is called Manifesting Man- Martin Martino Carrier. If you are manifesting Martin Carrier, you have a lot of experience with anxiety. Your pattern is probably really similar to your son's pattern. When I hook moms up to biofeedback equipment with my boys, I see a very similar pattern, kind of feeding pattern. Sometimes just recognizing that about your son, using some of the strategies you learn to help the boys can be very helpful you too. Some restriction things in your family that are known trigger time, like bedtime, is a common one where my manifesting moms are getting in there tend to go poorly. Bedtime is hard transition point for the boy when you have a vulnerable sort of arousal system like they do when they're acting, and it started going no matter how much you're keeping it together, your body's still reacting. It just makes it really hard for them to shut down and wind down because humans are very socially contagious, connected creatures, so they're going to feed off your psychological arousal. passing we see, in our computer data. Sometimes rescrewing those things or having dads do it or having a different process for that can be really helpful. I mean, if you're a single parent, it is what it is, but knowing that that is part of it and it's not your son's fault, it's not your fault, it's just a really hard thing for them to do and for you to do that. That's just real. It just makes it really hard for them to shut down and wind down because humans are resourcefully contagious. Contact the creatures that are going to feed on yourself around power. We see that in common data. Honestly, I didn't really know anything, heard anything like that. And I've been living with muscular dystrophy for 24 years, so I mean, I'm learning new things as well as I make these videos for you guys. Then we go to the other part where it's called significant others. There's a reason why the majority of divorces occur in the first 4 years after having children for the first time. Having children is incredibly stressful. It changes the nature of your partner relationship. Naturally, kids take a lot of attention. You don't have as much attention for yourself. For this population, when you have kids who need more overtime, they decline more overtime. That never goes away. Normally, your kids get to replace it. Like you're like, oh, we can reconnect, but for these boys, they need presence. You can quickly find yourself 10 years later, like we've been living different lives, just trying to survive. We don't really have this partnership. Then that adds stress. Sometimes families dissolve, and now that's even more stress because caring for these boys with two adults is hard enough, let alone doing it as a single parent. Yes, it's hard. It's a lot of work having someone with muscular dystrophy. That's why divorce rate is, I don't know the percentage when they have a son or son with muscular dystrophy, like the divorce percentage higher than someone that doesn't have, someone with a disability or someone like with muscular dystrophy and stuff. Because it takes a lot of time, and parents don't have any time for themselves. They always have to help, you know, their sons and stuff, which they're like ruin the family dynamic. I feel like expectation prior to giving birth are real. Nobody's going to be like, oh my gosh, I hope I have kids with chronic medical conditions that are horrific and going to cost all this time and money and pain. This sounds super fun. It's quoted, like it's in quotes, so I just quoted that. No, you have all these hopes and dreams for your kid. You give birth, you're doing great, and then you start doing these things over time. Then there's a grieving process. Not everyone grieves the same. Parents grieve different, that can cause stress in your relationship. Yeah, because sometimes it can be hard, accepting the reality that you're gonna have a son with this, genetic disability, like muscular dystrophy, Like I said, your mindset's not like, you're not thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have, someone with muscular dystrophy, or I'm gonna have someone with a different disability, you know, and stuff. Because you don't know that until you in it. It's like you're sifting these two process part, and you ask one, will you do it for mom? For would you do if your mom died? You're not going to have that conversation. They're not going to know. So they tell you what they will do. They might actually not do that thing because they have never been in it. Exactly. Like I feel like you can not give your opinion on things you never experienced. I mean, it can be hard. You probably want to give your opinion to someone, but it's like at the same time, it's like, what do I tell them? I don't want them to think. I said, you're worried about saying the wrong thing and stuff because it's like, for example, me, like if someone says, oh, you should go to college. It's not that hard. All you're like when you go to college and stuff, people probably like, oh, you're stressing over that assignment. That's easy. I mean, for you it's easy, but for someone that went to college or people that have gone to college, they know the drill. It's not easy. If you want to get that degree and to work hard, so like if you know that you can give your honest opinion because you already lived through that, or stuff like that. Or if you already lived through something, you have the experience to give your opinion because you already been in it. You lived through it. Like someone who has muscular dystrophy, that they might have a son with muscular dystrophy that passed away, for example. So those parents know the struggle and the things you're gonna go through if you have someone with muscular dystrophy. So I never really like people giving their opinion on things that they don't know, and they can say, "Oh, I won't do this," but you're not in that situation. So it's like, I mean, you can give your opinion, but don't be like, "Oh, I would do this, I would do that." You don't know because you're not in that situation and stuff. And so we just there are parts that we just don't know about another person until we're in it, and those parts can just only be incompatible. Exactly. Parenting is the next part of the article. Likewise, the things that these boys sometimes need are not capable with. Parents are not every parent, including patients. Some parents have ADHD. Some parents have their own mental struggles. Some parents have very high stress job. Exactly. It's like not easy parent. I mean, like I said earlier, it's not easy in parenting. I feel like even if they don't have a disability, but it makes it twice as harder you know, when you have someone with muscular dystrophy, and if parents are dealing like the example they gave, ADHD, have their own mental struggles, and if they have high demanding stress jobs, it can make it more complicated. You know, there's not always a good fit between parent and child. That's not your fault. That doesn't make you a bad parent because you have less tolerance than other parents for tolerating some of the things. It just makes you human. Obviously, we're all different. We all deal with situations differently. And like it says in the article, it doesn't mean you're a bad parent. We all deal with different situations differently. We're not all the same and stuff. Also, there's a real impact on sibling development and sibling interactive. Those two things simply impact each other with the kids and the sibling and vice versa. Because it can affect siblings. I feel like so I've met people with they have they have their son or their daughter, they have a disability and stuff, and it affects because they're giving more attention to one son or one daughter, and the other son or the other daughter is not getting that much attention. And it's not because the parents are choosing which son or daughter they like more. It's because they need more help, and sometimes siblings don't understand that. They get mad, be like, "Oh, you're always focused on him or her, but what about me?" and stuff. But it can be complicated. I never had siblings, but I know people that have siblings that has, you know, a brother sister with a disability and stuff. So then we're going to the last part of the article, which is financially. There's a real financial impact on family with this. If you have a two-parent household where one of you has left their career or left their job to stay home to take care of your kid, that's real. You're sacrificing. That changes the demand for you and your family and for you and your partner. Or you're not an earner anymore. There's a lot of things that go along with that. It can be a whole lot, and that's going to impact the entire family unit too. Exactly, when you have two parents, they both have income coming, and stuff like that. But when one parent, is the one that just working, you might it might be a struggle financially, trying to survive off one income rather than having two incomes and stuff. So yeah, I thought I'd make this video, I liked it 'cause it was a little bit more accurate, like talking about how it affects a family in general, because there's a lot of people that don't know. They see someone with muscular dystrophy, and they probably be like, it's not that hard, The person can talk, and stuff like that. But in reality, it's a lot of things that go into, that you deal with when you're a parent to someone with muscular dystrophy, and stuff, people just assume things. That's why I created this channel, talk about a little bit deeper, dig a little bit deeper and find information that people might not know, or people who never met or have a family member with muscular dystrophy, probably don't know a lot of things. So that's why I should look. I try to find articles, talk about my own personal experience and stuff. Trying to find things that I feel like have a lot of explanation, like this article and stuff. So yeah, hope you guys like this video. Learn a little bit more about muscular dystrophy and how it affects a family. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Until next.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride.